Oh, yeah. What up, Captain Wally?
What's goody, Rilla? How are you?
Yo, Rilla, just chilling, chilling in the park today. I'm in Barrio Logan in San Diego.
Yo, it looks mad festive out there.
Oh, man, there's like so many people and so many beautiful cars and so many beautiful artworks on the walls.
Yeah, it looks like a big vibe.
Yeah.
I see you're in front of a pretty sick-looking ride right there.
Oh, man, this ride is beautiful. But, Rilla got so tired. I hope that it's okay that I just kind of sit down and take a break right here for a second.
Excuse you.
Excuse Rilla. Sorry about that. Rilla just got tired and I didn't mean to disrespect your ride.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, Rilla, this is Rilla's first time to Chicano Park and to the Chicano Day celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, what's your name?
Well, first of all, Rilla, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Rilla just jumped the gun sometimes. I know. Slow down, deep breath.
My name's Chata.
Oh, Chata, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Pound. Oh, wow. I feel that right here in Rilla's heart. Chata, this is a beautiful car. Is it yours?
Think you, yes.
Wow. Does the car have a name too?
I have been thinking about it.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna rename it to Really.
Really?
Yeah, like really cute.
Oh, I love that. The car name Really, and Rilla name Rilla. Oh, Chata, you're so nice. Rilla want to know a little bit more about the history of Chicano Park. Can you tell Rilla a little bit more history about today and Chicano Park and what's happening?
Wow, you know what? It's your lucky day.
Oh.
I could tell you everything.
Oh, I know, Chata, you're so wise.
Wow. The inception of the park began in the 1970s.
Oh, that's such a long time ago.
Yeah. 1970, April 20th.
Wow.
The community came together here in Barrio Logan.
Oh, why?
Well, you know what? It's a little sad.
Is it?
But it has a happy ending.
Oh, I like happy ending. Really like happy ending.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
So what had happened was the freeway in which these beautiful pillars are on
Oh, yeah.
moved into town.
Oh.
And all the houses underneath this freeway got put into something we call eminent domain.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so everybody that lived in the houses that were here had to move. It was very sad.
There were houses right here where we're standing?
Houses right here where we're standing.
That's so sad. So many families had to leave.
So many families had to leave.
Oh, really
But
don't like.
the city promised them a park.
Oh.
Yeah, it was part of the deal.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were supposed to get a park, but check this out.
No.
Scandalous.
Scandalous?
Scandalous.
Oh, tell Rilla. Rilla
Highway
likes scandal.
Patrol.
A what?
The highway patrol.
Oh,
They were scandalous. Let me tell you why.
okay. Yes, Rilla want to know. I'm here.
Well, so they promised us a park, but behind our backs, they decided they were going to build a station instead of
Wow.
a park for our community and for
Wow.
the kids to play.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's not fair.
when the community caught wind, everybody came together and decided that they were going to take over this land and occupy
Yeah.
and turn it into the park that they promised.
Oh, park for the people.
For the people, yes.
Oh, of the community.
Yes.
I love that. Rilla love that.
I know. I love it too.
Oh, I can feel it warming Rilla's heart.
It warms
Yeah.
my heart too, Rilla.
Oh, I love that story.
So,
Tell me more.
everybody came together and they started planting trees.
Oh,
and
so beautiful.
barbecuing.
I love the sounds of all the
Yeah,
birds.
the abuelitas would come out and make tortillas for the people who were occupying the land and
Rilla can
food.
almost taste it.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
After some time went by, the city realized we're not going to give up.
Oh,
This is our park and we deserve it and we
That's right.
promised it.
that's right.
So the occupation worked successfully
Good.
and we were given our park.
Oh, and what's the story of all the artwork on the walls and the pillars around the park?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I really want to know.
Well, the artwork around the park tells the history of our people and of our land.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're so colorful. That history must be so beautiful.
it's special, yes.
Yes. Oh, Chata, this is first time for Rilla to be at the Chicano Park, and I especially am thankful for you to share this information with Rilla. Rilla never been inside a lowrider before.
Rilla's never been inside a lowrider?
No.
You know what?
What?
I think today's your lucky day.
What? What are you saying to Rilla?
Rilla, would you like to take a cruise with me?
What? Oh, Rilla would love to take a cruise with Chata. Oh, Chata, you're so cool.
Oh, but first things first.
What?
You got to put some work in.
Oh, I dropped it. Oh, Rilla's so clumsy.
It's okay,
Oh, Chata,
Rilla.
let's roll.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, Rilla, man, I really can't believe he's cruising down the boulevard with you, Chata. Thank you for taking Rilla cruising.
Believe it. And you know what, Rilla? Thank you for having such an interest in what this is all about.
Oh, Rilla really loved culture, so, he liked to learn and to teach as he goes. Rilla has a question for you, Chata.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can you tell Rilla, where lowriding community comes from and the culture comes from for Rilla, so Rilla know?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
So, the inception of lowriding and its origins,
Yeah.
it's a little hit and miss. It's a debate, I would say.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Some people say lowriding came from the Southwest, like Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. Well, others argue that it came from Los Angeles, Southern California, or Tijuana.
I see.
Yes.
I think that it doesn't matter where it comes as long as we're all lowriding together.
Yes. So really, you catch on pretty quick. You
And,
know that?
Rilla got brains, and Rilla has a heart too.
And looks. You're a looker.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chata.
So
Tell me more.
one thing is for certain, though, is that it originates back to the post-World War II era of the 1950s and 60s.
Oh,
Yes.
that's such a long time ago.
Yes.
So special.
And it was very popular amongst Mexican-American youth, or Chicanos, as I would say.
Oh, Rilla likes that.
Yeah. So, with the rise in popularity of lowriding in the 1970s,
Yeah.
also came some discrimination.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So tell me more.
Well, people felt some type of way about lowriding.
Oh.
I would say the man.
Oh, the man doesn't understand sometimes, They say they have the master plan, but we really know they don't have the master plan.
It's the truth. And
It's true.
They went far above and beyond to try and prevent us from lowriding.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, including laws that they put into place. Like,
No.
Yeah, like the California Penal Code 24008, which
What?
prohibited cars being lowered past a certain point.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
They really did that.
Oh, yes, they did. And our haters, you know what else they did? They made it illegal for us to cruise our favorite boulevards.
That's not nice. Rilla think that's very mean of someone to do that to somebody when they love to do things and it brings them happiness. And then they put a block on that. I think that's so rude.
But you know what?
What?
When you have passion and you have love in your heart, no hater can stop you. They're in the review mirror.
True. Rilla has lots of love in his heart too. Chata, can you tell Rilla a little bit more about yourself and what you do for fun and what you do for work?
About me?
Yeah, Rilla want to know.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Tell the boys and girls at home, please.
Usually it's really hard for me to talk about myself, but I feel pretty comfortable
But
with you.
yeah, you could talk to Rilla. Rilla here for you.
But first things first.
Okay.
You want to hit the switches?
Oh yeah, I want to hit the switches. Let's do this.
Okay, ready?
What button do I press?
You press that one.
Oh, that one. Okay, let's do this.
Hit it.
All right, hit the switches. Oh yeah.
Rilla,
Chata, I love this.
You're good at this, Rilla?
Oh, thank you. Oh, my head.
Okay. Enough.
Okay.
I think we need to check it.
Oh, are you okay?
Are you okay, Rilla?
What should we do, Chata? Where should we go?
You know what? I know a spot.
You have a spot?
Yeah.
Oh, Rilla loves this, Chata. Thank you. Oh, thank you for cruising with Rilla. Let's go. You take me to your spot.
Of course.
Oh, wow. Oh, Chata, where did you take me?
What do you think about my spot?
Wow, this is really kind of laid back, you know, I like the vibe.
Welcome to my universe.
Dope. Hey, thank you for taking Rilla all around San Diego today and educating Rilla.
Rilla, thank you for asking all the right questions and being interested.
Oh, you know, Rilla care about all that stuff, and Rilla care about you too, Chata.
Oh. Chata felt that in her heart.
Oh, oh yeah. Hey, Chata, can we talk about you a little bit more?
Okay.
Oh, Rilla has a question, you know. He just wants to know, what are you working on these days?
Well, I'm working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it's top secret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it all revolves around art, community, making money. A little bit,
that's always nice.
but mostly passion.
Yeah. Without passion, then it's not worth the time, I don't think, you know. Everything else comes after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I see that you take photographs too, that you do some modeling sometimes. Do you like to model, Chata?
I love to model.
Oh,
I love to model and I love to take photos as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if there's one place on the planet or in the universe where you would like to go cruising in your lowrider, where would that be?
Japan.
Oh.
Because guess what?
What?
Lowriding is worldwide now.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
We made it.
You made it. We made it.
We made it.
Yeah, that's right, you know. And you know, I'm just so moved by the experience I had with you today, Chata. You know, if there's anything that Rilla could do for you, Rilla do. You just say so.
Rilla, you just keep being you, and we're gonna be just fine.
Oh, Rilla really like Chata. Thank you, Chata.
Chata really like Rilla.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, anytime. Will you come back and we can go cruising again?
Oh, you bet.
Oh, okay. Can you tell Rilla a little secret?
Yeah.
Wow.
What? Ooh, Rilla.
Oh, sorry. What? Oh. Chata, I did not know that you hold all the answers to the universe inside your heart. Oh, Rilla said that outside, outside loud. I'm sorry, Chata. Okay. Okay, boys and girls, thank you for coming and watching Rilla and Chata today. We love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, they're so cool to come cruise with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
right? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Thank you for keeping it Rilla with Rilla.
Anytime.
Okay. Bye, Chata.
Bye, Rilla. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Peace out.
Graphitectura, habitual typography. The word graphitectura emphasizes the use of typography, symbols, and signals as a method of communication in graffiti. And it also alludes to the rhythm, design, and balance in architecture. SHENTE is an artist from Tijuana that is part of the first graffiti crew in Mexico, established in 1989, HEM, Hecho in Mexico. His style was influenced by the New York City hip-hop culture at a young age. His pieces have been transitioning between irregular lines and sharp ones between layers of color and transparencies, designing these edifices similar to the Tower of Babel and Wardenclyffe Tower in order to create his own language through energy and vibration. Yo, what up everyone? It's me, PERSUE, aka Swayze. I'm just here at the border, on the San Diego side between San Diego and Tijuana, our sister city. I came down to the border to meet my boy SHENTE and to talk to him about his work and taking a little adventure with him through the past and into the present. While we wait for him, man, I mean, just being here at the border, it's been a while, you know. I was born and raised here in San Diego, and it's crazy to see this picture. You see TJ right here, really pushed up against this border wall, right? And then right here in Chula Vista in San Diego, it's just, you know, it's got a big sort of like, it looks like the river kind of rolling through it, you know, the Tijuana river roller. Yeah, so, you know, I've been coming to TJ since I was a baby. My parents used to bring me down to the city as a baby, as a kid. My dad loved the city. So it brings back a lot of nostalgic memories for me personally. Coming down to Revolution and seeing, you know, and shopping at the mercados and all that stuff, it holds a special place in my heart, you know. And falling in love with the city as I've seen it transition and grow through the decades now. And then also experiencing the graffiti movement moving into the city and the players that would become the graffiti artists in TJ. Yo, where'd you get that dog sound? Classic. Captain Wally. Tijuana stray dogs, man. We know about those. A lot of them make their way over here on the San Diego side, that's for sure. You know, 1995 was probably the first year I actually went down and painted in this city, which was a long time ago, you know. I mean, throughout the early 2001, all the way up to about 2010, I was going down there and meeting writers to do pieces. I was bringing friends down there to piece all throughout the early 2000s. So, you know, I'm just real excited to be here. Real excited to invite my friend SHENTE onto the show. Let me text him real quick and see where he's at. Where's my phone? Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me see. SHENTE over here at the border. Yo, come swoop me up. Let's meet up. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Flew in on a UFO. What up, SHENTE? Oh, man, I'm good. You know, I brought some paint for us to maybe catch a spot. What do you think? All right, cool. But before, that's real impressive, man, just flying in on the UFO. Like, how do I get a UFO? Like, can you arrange that for me? Like, where are you flying in from, first of all? Oh, okay. All right, let's do this. Hey, Captain Wally, can you arrange the UFO for me? All right, let's go on this adventure. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Yo, what the, yeah. It's incredible, man. Like, I haven't seen you in a minute, SHENTE. It's good to see your face. Yeah. You know, not too many people are able to kind of get out there in the galaxy and travel around. You know, it seems like it's something that kind of coincides with your body of work, you know? Yeah, right, man. You know, I mean, I guess it really starts at the beginning because really I'd like to introduce you to, you know, the viewers and the people that are checking in and watching this, and to get them to kind of understand where you're coming from, you know. So let's talk about the past a little bit, shall we? Like, you know, born and raised in TJ? Yeah, man, take me down memory lane with you. Let's check this out. So, hey, Wally, we want to pull up some of those images? Oh, okay. Okay, tell us when we're good. Okay. Sorry, Shente. Technical DJs. Difficulties in DJs. Yeah, man.
Check, 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 check. Check, if you hear me in the chat, let me know. Test, test, test. I think we're good.
Yeah, you think so?
Sorry about that, guys.
It's all right. Were you gonna bring us back into the spaceships?
We're going back in outer space,
Back in outer space, people. Thanks for hanging in there. Just some technical difficulties we needed to work out. This is live TV. All right, Chente, let's pull Chente in. There he is. We got this. You're gonna have to put me, yeah. Oh man, we're back. Yo, Shente, I'm so sorry about that, man. It must have been the Milky Way when we passed through the Milky Way. It must have been like some sort of like bumbled up transmission, or I don't know.
It was too trippy, guys. Sorry.
It happens. You know, it's you gotta take you know, at the same time we gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we went to outer space way too fast.
Way too fast. Yes,
we were at the border, and then next thing you know, we were like out here in the galaxies, man. But we wanted to kind of move into the beginning of Shente and living in TJ.
Riding on a UFO.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. You know, what was it like growing up in TJ, man?
Exciting to say the least, man. Exciting.
Yeah. It's like the Wild West.
Well, the place where I grew up.
You should be drinking whiskey, Shente, with all this shit happening.
Exactly.
Shoot, send some
It's
over.
buffering right now. Just give it a minute, guys.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I think we're back.
You think? All right.
We're back now.
We're back. That's what's up. Talk to the viewers and to me about growing up in TJ. You were saying you grew up in a part of town where...
Yeah, the part of town where I grew up in is like 10 or 50 minutes away from the beach, 10 or 50 minutes away from the border as well. So in a good place.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, like it seemed like my own little Bronx here because I live in front of buildings, and this low-income housing for workers, they were given by the government at a really cheap price for for Mexican workers, and back in 1973.
Right. Is that the year you were born?
No, I was born in 74.
Oh, okay.
That's when my parents moved into that house.
Right. And what you say it was like the Bronx? Like, how do you mean? Like well, the 70s, the Bronx, the 60s, the Bronx, like?
I felt like it was kind of like 80s because maybe end of the 70s and the start of the 80s because a lot of the gangs that were around here seemed like out of a movie. You know, like there were these guys who had a surf gang, let's say, and then another one was like punk rockers gang. So then they weren't all cholos, although there were a lot of pachucos and all that stuff around here.
Right.
But when I was going to elementary school, it was interesting to walk through all these neighborhoods, and everybody had their own little style going. You know, just the way they dressed and the music they listened to. So, yeah, to say the least, it was very different than other places in TJ, I think. But when I was young, I wouldn't leave this area that much. You know, I would only go to San Diego and stuff like that sometimes.
Right. Oh, it's pouring outside right now. It's picking up on the. Anyways, so how did you get into the art? Was the art something that was always sort of like that attracted you, or because you got into? What year did you get into graffiti? Like, how was that introduced to you?
Funny story. My friend Alex, when we were like 1983, 1984, when we were 9 and 10.
Yeah.
I guess because of my older brother breakdancing, one of the days that I came into the house, he moved all the furniture and he was doing like a flare.
Oh, so, wow. Okay. What year was that?
What was that?
What year was that?
Like around 1983.
Yeah, it seems to be like in line with what was happening in San Diego and LA and all the way up the West Coast at the time.
So I saw him do that and I was like, what are you doing? You know, he's like, oh, this is called breakdancing. And I was like, what? So I guess everybody had their own thing here in my house. My brothers already had their own style of dressing, their sports, their music. And I was the odd man out. You know, I had nothing. I had nothing that really set me aside.
Right.
My dad had really good penmanship, and my brothers had good penmanship as well. And they had like they would like to draw.
Right.
And it was weird. I got into it because we had some art books here in the house, and I tried to set myself aside. And I remember that I started listening to maybe like hip hop from back then, like African Bambata and this kind of stuff, you know. And
yeah,
my dad would listen to a lot of salsa, merengue, you know, cumbias, all this kind of music.
Right.
Although my dad and my mom grew up in Sinaloa, you know, but they came very young to Tijuana, like back like in the 60s, 50s, maybe.
So they migrated from Sinaloa to TJ, just the two of them.
Just the two of them and my two older brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, they were born over there in Culiacan. And then the rest of us were born over here. And so Tijuana was so Americanized, you know, like all the music that we listened to was in English.
Yeah. It was the
television stations, everything cartoons in English.
Sure.
And so, yeah.
The border seemed a lot easier to get back and forth between, you know, it wasn't such an abrupt, like sort of cutoff. It was more open at the time. And there was a lot of tourism happening as well, right?
A lot of tourism. I mean, there still is.
Yeah.
I think it's changed. And I remember that we used to cross the border like sometimes even twice a day, you know, and go and buy things and then come back because it was so easy, so convenient, good prices,
right?
Cheap clothing, all that good stuff. It's sneakers, you know, all that good stuff to go and get it in the U.S. and then come back to TJ and show off to your friends, you know.
Yeah, check out my new shoes.
Exactly. Yeah. I bought them at Payless, right?
I mean, that must have been a lot. Yeah, I mean, that's brag-worthy, right? Going stateside and bringing some stuff back that you can't really get. Well, my family would go over the border and go to like Guess, because Guess, that was the only place that you could get Guess jeans, was on the Revolution right there at the Guess flagship store or whatnot.
Oh, I remember that place. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, my dad, he brought us down there. I mean, we were there probably every other week, you know, for many, many years as kids. He would do a bunch of stupid shit, like leave us on the sidewalk while he went into Bambi's to have a beer, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember Bambi's, yeah.
So where were you hanging out? Like just sort of in your neighborhood? And like, did somebody introduce you to the word graffiti or what it meant? Like, were you already kind of like writing? Like, how did you get that bug? How did you get that input?
First I was breakdancing. So
Yeah.
then I did that for a few years, and I would go to like, you know, parties with my cousins and stuff like that, and they would be like, hey, you like dancing, right? So dance for us, you know? So then
Right.
I would be part of the entertainment.
Oh, so it just kind of came in with the breakdancing movement. You were just kind of like exposed to the hip hop
Yeah.
graffiti aesthetic.
I shifted into that because one of my friends, Alex, he liked this girl when we were like in sixth grade.
Yeah.
And he told me, you know what, dude, I need you to help me out here. You know, be my wingman, and we're gonna do some pieces. You know, some letters like with buildings on the back. You know, and so I guess it was him when we were like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
He told
His
me,
name
like,
was Alex.
Alex, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he wasn't any kind of writer or anything, but we would breakdance together.
Right.
And so we started doing this sketch. And he did the name of the girl he liked, and then I did the name of the girl he wanted me to help him out with too.
Oh, okay, okay.
To separate her from the herd, right?
Right.
So I did.
You're a matchmaker.
So I did that, and I did the little sketch with the little with the buildings and everything. Being that in Tijuana there were like no real like any kind of glimpse of architecture like that, like New Yorkish, you know, or not even
Sure.
San Diego style.
There weren't too many skyscrapers. It was all like, you know, 3 stories at the most, maybe, right?
Yeah, very small, very, very, you know, very small town like. So then,
Yeah.
you know, I was drawing something that didn't really connect with my reality, to be honest with you, you know, and I was doing like a New York skyline.
So it had to have been so foreign, you know, but you were just kind of fudging it from just.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, I got to see movies like The Warriors, and then to
Right.
listen to more hip hop music.
It started to make sense.
Yeah, and then I said, this is my thing. This is my thing, right? This is not my brother's thing. This is not anybody else's.
Sure.
This is my own thing. So then I felt at home.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Captain Wally, can you transition us into some more? There you go. Okay.
Right. Yeah, this is right. Okay. Yeah.
If you check the Zoom, you'll see what we're looking at as well too. On your phone, yeah.
Right. Oh, I didn't even know what that meant, to be honest with you. You know, me being a young kid in Tijuana and trying to catch up with the idea of learning the language, which picking up English and trying to speak it well at a good level, and then trying to break dance at a good level, and then
So you took that really serious. You took breakdancing really serious.
I did, and then I guess it kind of died off for me, and then
Yeah.
I
Was that around 84 or 85?
Yeah, like after the 84 Olympics in Los Angeles,
Right.
I kind of said like, yeah, forget that. I think I like graffiti more. I think I like putting my name up
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I remember I seen like a lot of gang tags here, like a cholo riding here in Tijuana. I mean, here in my own neighborhood.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, with stock tip and long letters and numbers, and I didn't understand all this stuff, but I liked the way it looked. It piqued my interest. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
I was stoked to see it.
Yeah.
And so I never saw them do it, but I would see it on the wall. So then I would be like, how do they do that?
Yeah, when do they do that?
Yeah, and why? You know, and so
while you're sleeping.
While you were sleeping, yeah. So
yeah,
super interesting to me. And then I remember that I got really into rock and roll.
Around that time.
Yeah, and my brother loved Led Zeppelin, and I started loving Led Zeppelin. So then I remember I did a Zeppelin on a wall of a neighbor's wall.
Okay.
Like flying, and I put the mighty Zepp will fly again. You know?
Sick.
And yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if they ever really flew again after that, but yeah, but that's great, man.
Yeah. So then, I guess all the lettering and all the albums that I would see here at the house, you know, with the designs from like Roger Dean and all the Led Zeppelin lettering, the Rolling Stone design, all that stuff, you know, it caught my eye. Mm-hmm. And I guess, you know, like around that time, I figured out that, you know, that you could do this stuff with spray paint.
Sure.
So then I would go, somebody told me, hey, if you go in that store, you know, like a not a thrift store, but sort of,
yeah.
They would tell me like, you know what, they have spray paint there.
How old were you at the time?
Probably like around 11. So then, of course, they would ask me to steal the paint, you know.
How funny.
And I would.
It's so crazy that racking was a thing already in the mid 80s in TJ to get spray paint to go write your name.
Yeah, so we would go to a couple of hardware stores around here.
Yeah.
And I remember that the Corona cans used to cost 14 pesos.
Oh, okay.
And
what is that in equivalent to US dollars?
Oh, back then, I don't know, probably like
$1. 50 cents?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so super cheap.
Yeah.
So I remember they had like a very limited color chart. You know, it was like 14 colors, and some of them were like metallic ones.
Yeah.
But very good. It was from a company originally from Tijuana. You know, Pinturas Calete.
Corona is a spray paint before it was a beer.
Oh, I don't know, but it's this I mean, the Corona beer is one thing, but this thing is a Corona.
Is the spray paint? Huh?
Tijuana, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was made here.
Yeah,
so then,
interesting.
Yeah. So then we used that for a while.
Right.
And then I guess little by little, once I started going to San Diego a little bit more and finding out certain things, I would snoop around the stores, and then I found, you know, Krylons.
Yeah.
And then like around 1987, my friend Campbell was already living in San Diego, and I think he took out a couple of books from Lincoln High, and one of them was not spray can art, subway art.
Subway art. Yeah. Wow. And he brought that down to TJ?
He brought it to TJ. He showed me.
You must have your mind must have been blown. This was 87?
Yeah. I was like, you know, I don't know when the book came out, but I think by 87 it was out.
Probably a couple years before that.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, like it was amazing. It was amazing. I didn't see spray can art. I think I saw spray can art till like 1990.
Right.
You know, so.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we stole it at the Barnes and Nobles over there in Horton Plaza.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Being young and dumb.
Yeah. I remember that day. It was the August 9th, 1990.
Wait, you remember the day?
Yeah, because that's my brother's birthday. And we went to see our Robert Plant concert that day.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
In San Diego.
In San Diego at the sports arena.
And you racked a spray can art.
and subway art again.
And Subway Art again.
Both of them, yes.
So that's pretty early, you know, like 87 for the West Coast, you know, like, and having graffiti, New York graffiti, and the whole idea of it in your mind at 11 is really early for the West Coast, you know, like as we approach the second wave of the graffiti movement on the Pacific side, you know, that's basically what we are, you know. And you in TJ, I mean, we didn't hear a lot from TJ for a while. You know, I think you were the ones that were really the guys that were bringing it back and forth, you know, with some crews out here in San Diego.
Yeah, the thing is that early on, there were a lot of kids doing graffiti here in Tijuana, but everybody was on their own.
Yeah, what year was that? What was the earliest years you saw graffiti kind of emerging in TJ, other than yourself?
I think I saw it most like during '88. I saw like a lot of like little tags here and there that didn't look like cholo tags.
Yeah.
I saw some of them downtown. Some of them I saw by the beach.
Sure.
And so I was like,
but a lot of tourists were coming down, a lot of writers from LA and San Diego, and bringing those styles and their names down there. Who knows? I mean, probably some Navy, New York graffiti writer probably came down to TJ and left a tag or two.
I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, what impacted me the most was that book. And then I just felt I was enamored by New York and how it looked in New York. I think it looked perfect there.
Sure,
like,
absolutely. Like it made sense, right?
It perfect sense, like with the the grime and the dirt and the trains.
And TJ's grimy too, and that's what I think I'm so attracted to TJ, because it has that element to it, and it's exciting to see the graffiti movement emerge from that in its own way, because like I said, you didn't get right into doing wild style pieces. You got into writing, and that's everybody in the city, when they got the graffiti bug in TJ, they got into just writing their name and getting up, and they had a very particular way, an evolution from LA hand styles and San Diego hand styles, but with a twist. And there was a lot of backwards letters and fat caps and hanging off buildings and things that we didn't really see stateside.
Right. And the thing is that because everybody that was writing came from a different upbringing, you know, like, so I would see people from the east part of TJ doing certain tags that were like more like just regular lettering, you know, and
really?
And other guys doing a little bit more scripture. And so you would see different hand styles, and it would be interesting. And you would start seeing the names a little bit more. And I remember I told Camel, you know what, man, there's more kids doing this shit here. So I think we should start going out a little bit more, because if not, they're going to beat us.
Yeah, competition.
Yeah, so then, I was like, they're going to beat us, and we can't have that.
Sure.
You know, we can't have other kids.
You inherited everything that graffiti and the movement and the sport is about at a young age, right? Like, so you were just like, we got to go get up. That's just the name of the game.
I didn't even know what all city meant, but I knew that I wanted to go all city.
Was all city a thing in TJ? Did people go all city?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You would have to go all the way to the end of the other part of the town and walk everywhere. You know, I remember these 3-4 hour walks with a bag full of cans, and then just like, we're not going home until we
this bag's empty. Classic, man. Did you ever run into any because like you never know what you're gonna turn, you know, the corner in a city like TJ and run into, you know? Did you ever run into like issues, or you have a story to share with the viewers of like a crazy night out there in TJ, kind of like catching tags? Yeah,
I mean, at the beginning, when we first met the guys that created HEM, so I used to play basketball a lot in junior high, and also a little bit in high school. So then I met them like around 1991, around there, I think, or like in the summer of 91, I met one of them. And one of these guys gave my phone number to another person, and then they passed it around, and they called me.
Right.
And then we met, and then we had a meeting at this place called Plaza Rio.
Okay.
And we went tagging together that day. During the day, we went tagging. And it was crazy because it was like 40 kids tagging all around the river during daytime, and people didn't know what to make of it because
it was so foreign, right?
It wasn't like gang style. It was like actual fat cap, tags and trying to do like nice throw ups, but they were looking kind of whack, of course.
Sure.
So once we settled on who was going to be part of this new crew and this, which Pisto and Nets created, then we said, you know what? Yeah, like I want to be part of this Hecho en Mexico thing, to represent. That's
HEM. That's a famous crew from your city.
Yeah, and I loved it because I felt that it wasn't a pretentious name. It wasn't saying that we were the best or the most down or anything. It was just saying that we were made in Mexico because a lot of people from Mexico, a lot of people that came to live in Tijuana, I think many of them weren't really trying to stay in Tijuana, but they ended up in Tijuana because they weren't able to cross to the U.S. or maybe their American dream blew up in their face and they stayed here. So then sometimes when you're in Tijuana, it doesn't feel like you're part of the rest of Mexico for some people.
Right.
And because it's so surreal,
Sure.
Tijuana,
it feels like a separation. It's far away from other cities. And it's so close to San Diego.
It's so close to San Diego, so much using of the dollar and so much speaking English. So everything is in English here. So then, it's like, come on, like decide, are you Mexican or are you American?
But HEM, Hecho en Mexico, brings it all together, right? Like
at least,
we're all Mexican and we're all in this crew.
It made sense to us to represent that, and then for us to have our names in Spanish as well. Yeah.
Now, Shente is, tell me about the origins of Shente, the name. This photo is so amazing. This is a photo. Is that you or is that somebody you know?
No, that's my friend Dunk.
Yeah, so this was the style that we were talking about, how the young riders were hanging over the edges of these buildings and catching their tags and just getting up, like, it's like it's style all its own. And a lot of letters kind of got turned around, in the process. Like E's would be backwards, or, different letters would be flipped upside down, just because these kids were writing like this, and it adopted into a style.
Yeah, the way you do this is that you hang over and you do it backwards. Because if you do it forward, you're going to be writing your name, and then your leg is going to scrape the letter, so then it's not going to look good. So you're supposed to do it backwards.
I had no idea. I always wondered how, like, you cats were doing this in TJ, because like I said, it just wasn't happening in San Diego like this until probably later, until you guys brought it over.
Yeah,
probably a few heads that did it.
Yeah, some of these guys that were doing this style was more like towards the end of the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s.
Okay.
And they call it trepes.
Really? And what does that translate to?
Like climbing, like
oh,
trepar means to get on top or climb.
It's like taking a trip in a sense.
Yeah. Like, well, the thing is that you're climbing over, and your body's like over the
insane
over the wall, like you're climbing over, so
yeah. And back then, when you're young, it's all about how crazy you get. I mean, that HEM underneath Dunk's name is 7 feet, 8 feet down.
Yeah, like somebody would grab him from the legs, and then he would do that stuff, like upside down.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, no, there's even other buildings where these kids were doing that, even like going further down, and it's a whole language, and it's a whole movement.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I wasn't so much a part of that because my style, I studied the New York style.
Yeah, you were steeped in tradition, right? With the graffiti style.
To be honest with you, yeah, I was more. That was embedded in me.
Sure.
The New York thing, everything that was New York made me just like, like I'm into that. Like the New York movies, anything that was made in New York to me was like I fell in love with that city and the style, and then of course once I started hearing more about like hand styles, like Philadelphia hand styles, then those two cities are like my favorite for
Yeah,
graffiti.
right. So those were your direct influences, and
Yeah.
HEM was just a way of coming together, and you were able to navigate the city and then start to create substantial pieces of work in the
Yeah,
process.
And basically we love bombing more
Yeah.
than piecing or doing a nice mural.
Sure.
Our idea of getting up was getting up the hard way, you know, like a blue collar.
Yeah, I got to give it up to you guys. You really did put in like work on both sides of the border.
Well, that was the idea, you know, we wanted to belong so much in the movement.
Yeah.
And we wanted to be part of it.
Yeah.
That for us, it wasn't enough to be accepted in Tijuana. I think Tijuana was going to be easy for us.
Right,
you
right.
know, once we wanted to take over and just bomb everywhere. But it was, if we really wanted to make our mark, we needed to make some noise in San Diego.
For real, man. And you did. Hey, real quick, Shente, can you turn the light on inside your rocket ship?
Absolutely.
Yeah, flip the switch on that, man. There we go. So we can see you. It's getting dark there in TJ. Yeah, man. So Shente, man, I kind of touched on it for a moment, but where did the name Shente come from, and what does it mean? What does it represent?
Well, my name is Vincent, and in Spanish is Vicente. So you know, so Vicente translates into Shente.
Got you.
But the thing is that usually people that are called Vicente, their nickname turns into Shente, but with a C, not with an S. And I turned it to an S because I read in the glossary. Is that how you say it?
Yes, like
in
the dictionary.
That of a spray can art. I think it mentions it. Or
okay. The glossary. Yes.
Where it says that if you write with a C and then you can change it to an S because it symbolizes spray paint. And then if you write with a K, then with a C, like my friend Camel, you turn it to a K because it means Krylan or king.
Sure, that makes sense.
So then
it's like the extension of like these crews in California. It'll be like a crew, like a 3-letter crew, and then they'll add the K, and then you know not to fuck with them because they're kind of gangster.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Incredible. Yeah, so Shente, the name means everything. It's your birth name, you know, like it was a name given to you by your parents, right? So there's a lot of pride that goes into that name.
And it's crazy, you know why? Because originally my name was only going to be Israel because that's my second name.
Okay.
But they gave me the name Vicente because of my uncle, who was a fisherman,
okay,
captain of a couple of tuna tuna ships, I guess you would call them. And he would fish all the way from Alaska all the way to Ecuador. So he was a French Algerian. So then thanks to him, they gave me the name, and I don't know, I guess I had to embrace it. And
that was it.
You know, yeah, that was it.
He sounds like a badass, man, out there in the wild ocean catching fish.
Oh yeah.
So you traveled a lot. The border wasn't really anything that kind of kept you back. You were fortunate enough to have a pass and be able to travel outside of TJ. And we were just looking at some of the images of this blank wall that evolved into you doing a piece. And I believe it was a wall in Israel. Which wall was that?
It was a wall that separates Bethlehem from Jerusalem.
Yeah. Why did you gravitate to Israel? Why was that a place you said, I want to go travel? And was it a religious pull or?
A little bit, yes. When I grew up here as a Catholic, my parents would send me to church all the time, you know? So then I remember my brother Hector, he would say, you go to church, you know? So then he would say, grab one of the pamphlets and learn whatever the preacher or the priest is talking about.
Right.
And my brother would keep the money and he would stay with his friends, and he would buy some ice cream and candies and just fool around, right? And I would go to church, and I became like, I had to pay attention, double the attention now, because I needed to learn whatever I was going to say to my dad when I came back home, because my dad would ask us, so what
Right.
what was it about today? What was the topic today?
Right.
Yeah. So then I would tell my brother, and then he would be able to lie and say that, oh, okay, he would say half of the story and I would say the other half.
Classic.
Yeah. But then my dad was so smart that he would always catch him.
Really?
Yeah, my dad,
he's never telling the full story. There's a lie. I'm looking right in his face. He's lying to me. You know, it's like one of those powers we have as parents.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
we know when they're not really telling the truth.
So basically, I love the songs. I love the religious art.
Yeah.
The designs of the churches, you know, the tradition,
and
all that stuff. So then, little by little, I said, you know, maybe I should go and visit this place. Maybe there's something there for me, you know, to connect me to the roots of my belief. So once again, my best friend, Camel, he invited me. He's like, dude, I went to Israel for 4 days. I went to Greece and then I went to Israel and it's beautiful.
Right.
Maybe we should go.
Yeah.
So in 2009, we took that trip and we went, and it was amazing, dude.
The experience.
I loved it.
Yeah. What was the experience like? I haven't been there. It's like on my bucket list.
Nah, it's amazing, man. It's beautiful beaches. The food is great. The people, you know, whether it's Palestinians or Jews, like, at least my experience, super nice people on both ends.
Right.
And all the people that live there, Armenians, Greeks, you know, like
everybody's
nice
just
people.
living. It's a city, right?
It's just, like, you know, like if you don't get into the, you know, the stuff where you go deep into the religious parts,
the politics,
then like people are just people, they're nice, they
That's
like
the
to
thing.
talk.
There's a big percentage of a bigger percentage of us as community and people that really are interested in other cultures and foods and languages, and, you know, just being able to take that with you and bring that home to TJ. Like, what was that like? Did you feel a new energy? Did it make you want to push your work harder and go in different directions? Because I want to get up to the point and discuss your show at Incessant Studies here in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Because after I came back, I've never heard, I think I never heard before about Kabbalah, or I never really like looked for the roots or Judaism or anything like that, even though I was over there at the Western Wall and I loved it and I loved the energy and the people and everything.
Yeah.
I came back with with something new. I felt different. I did feel different in a really good way, with new ideas and all that stuff.
Right.
So it was crazy because I'd never seen a Jewish person here in Tijuana, or at least not that I remember.
I'm surprised because there's quite a few, I think.
There are, but they're not really that religious. So they're not wearing their yarmulke or their kippah.
Yeah.
They don't have the full beard. You know, it's more like they're business owners. Yeah, they're business owners, but they're more secular.
Sure.
So I remember I went to this place called Sanborn's in that same year in 2009. And there was this guy standing right by the magazine racks where I usually went to see some magazines and check out things, you know. So then I looked at him. He had the beard. He had everything. He was wearing the whole suit. And I was like, wow, look at this guy, you know. So then I couldn't stop myself from going and talking to him. Yeah. And I asked him, so where do you guys hang out? Like, where do you guys, you know, do you have a synagogue here? And he gave me his card and he said, this is where we meet, and you're more than welcome to come. And so then I did. Nice. And so I went.
Oh, wow.
And at the beginning, I was kind of scared because of this. The symbolism is very different from what you see at a Catholic or a Christian church.
Oh, yeah. It's more Asian or Arab.
Yeah. So the letter, first of all, it caught my attention because I love letters. It's because of graffiti as well.
Yeah.
So then the designs of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, that was like that again. The letters caught me again. Yeah. So then I was like, yeah, that's my new way of communication. That's like an extension of graffiti.
Yeah, Sure.
So then I went in there and I started going to classes. I didn't even know what it was about, but then I started like, again, falling in love with this movement, you know,
Interesting. Yeah.
Kabbalah, and they were talking about the spheres, the Sephirot, which is similar to the chakras in Hinduism. And it was something very different from my years of Catholicism. So I was like, yeah, you know, started drawing some more. And every time I went to one of these talks, I got so into it that I was going basically almost every day of the week.
Wow.
And then I even started going to Shabbat.
Wow. So what was the attraction other than, okay, the letters were a introduction, right? Or your trip to Israel, then the letters, and it was there in your hometown, and so you gravitated towards it. What were the differences that you were seeing between Catholic and Judaism?
The stories behind the intricate details and the way they would tell you, you know, the rabbi would say, you can ask anything you want. Anything, ask anything. Like there's no boundaries. Like you can't offend anybody for asking. I mean, they would tell me, if you're a Jew and you don't ask questions, that means that for us, it means that you're not interested, that you're not getting it, you know? So then we like people that ask questions, that want to be profound about this. So then all these stories that I had read before in the Bible, now with the Torah, it made more sense to me.
Right.
And that fed my artistic
hunger.
Because it made me study more stuff. It made me think about the architecture and the design of the synagogues.
Right. It put you outside the box.
Super outside. Yeah. And I was out of my comfort zone, but then it became my comfort zone as well after a few years of doing it.
Right. Interesting. That's really cool, man. I love that story. And speaking of like the sacred geometry and architecture and your newest body of work, maybe we could, Captain Wally, maybe you could transition into some of the works from the show, and we could plug the opening at Incessant Studies that opens tomorrow, and it's a 3-day show. It's from the 26th, 27th, and 28th. You need to reach out to Incessant Studies. Wally, if you could let the chat know with a link to their Instagram, or the gallery's located here in San Diego. I believe they have a PDF with the works as well. If you're interested in some of the works that you see here tonight, you could reach out to the gallery at Incessant Studies. And I believe that's their handle. And Captain Wally will put that in the chat for everyone.
Got you guys.
Good looks, Wally. But yes, sacred. This is. Talk to me about the evolution. So, like, starting off from where you are here with the input from this new way of belief and thought and architecture and travel and inspiration, and how do you come to this? You know,
this started off after a trip to New York in 2005, and I got to paint at 5 Points on the roof.
Right.
And so after that, I remember seeing the design of the city, because you know New York's graffiti is famous for the panel style pieces.
Yeah.
But to me, it's also famous for the skyscrapers.
Right.
So then, as an ode to the city, I started doing these pieces that went up like a tower.
Right.
So it started off from there little by little. And then I also like architecture a lot. Like, you know, maybe
just in
guys
general.
Like in general, but especially guys like, well, my favorite one is Zaha Hadid, you know, right now, like she's one of my favorites. And then Santiago Calatrava, Frank Gehry, and all these guys who are stars, but also like Luis Barragan, which is a Mexican architect who uses a lot of the color to bring out, you know, the design, and it's just beautiful work. So I connected both of them, you know, so then I said, yeah, two of my passions, graffiti and architecture, so I'll just call it Graffitectura. And and that's where it started.
What year was that around the Graffitectura? So like technical graffiti, is this the translation?
Architectural graffiti.
Architecture graffiti, yeah.
Yeah, so then it probably started, let's say around 2012. Yeah, like around 2012, I started doing like the first sketches. I have some sketches in my books, in my notebooks when I was going to art school.
Yeah.
And they're not that good, you know, like I see them and I can see the transition and the evolution of them.
I've got books and books full of terrible drawings in between, you know, bodies of works, you know, the evolution, at least you captured it, which was so smart and so important that you capture that transition, because maybe you won't revisit that again, or maybe you will. At least you have a journal of it.
I like to write a lot, because the first thing I was studying when I was in San Diego, I was studying photojournalism.
Oh, okay.
So then I always take notes. You know, when I watch movies, I take notes. I love to be nerdy, you know, with studying stuff.
Sure.
And I always ask myself, like, what is this for, and all that good stuff. And then, you know, even when I watch documentaries, you know, so
you're asking those
came from your guts, you know, like from yourself.
Yeah.
Like your signature, and even the way you sketch out on paper or on the wall. When I do it, I want it. I'm not saying that it's going to be like the only style or it's going to be like so unique, but I want it to be, because it's like your movements and your energy. That's your own thing, and that should translate onto the wall.
Right. Right. And the translation of what you've been doing through the years on the walls and into your fine work scope is pure energy. Like, are you drawing from memory? Is it?
No, I can't do two of these. I couldn't translate any of these onto the wall exactly. When I go to the wall, I would probably have to do one off, you know.
Sure, but I'm talking more about the piece. I'm sorry, the pieces on paper or on canvas. Like, are these just kind of like feeling it out as you go, or do you have like a blueprint to the pieces?
For example, I sketch them out like a bunch of times, at least 5 times.
Oh, before you actually apply the final.
Yeah, because
the studies.
Yeah, because the paper that I buy, it's not expensive, but I don't want to be wasting paper. So I always buy like, you know, like a lot of paper. And then once I'm ready to put it on that watercolor paper, then here goes the good one, you know, like that's when you have to be like really loose and actually know where you're going with it, you know, like.
Yeah, right. You're warmed up a bit. You're flowing a little bit more, right? You've warmed up the mind. You've warmed up the body, the spirit.
Yeah, it's like stretching before running. So
exactly. Some of these pieces I see you're using a mixed medium, spray paint, markers,
watercolor, pencil, ink. Yeah, a bunch of transparencies lately.
Yeah. How many pieces did you produce for this show?
28, I believe.
28 pieces?
Yeah. Yeah, and all brand new. But all through Corona, I've been doing a lot. Like, I haven't really stopped. I did, prior to this batch, I did 44.
Oh, okay.
But of collage and spray paint and other stuff, because thanks to Matisse, who's one of my favorite painters, I started doing collage and cutting paper like a lot, like in 1997, around there.
Oh, really?
And and I have like a bunch of, because when I saw him, I remember I saw his work when he used to cut paper and just put it on his bed, and then he did a church with all this style of like cutouts, and it looked beautiful. And I guess I started doing it from there, and I have a sketchbook which I filled out with a bunch of collages that I tried to imitate a little bit of his work. But then I said, you know what, you got to find your own voice and not be copying this guy, because it's, you know, like, you got to do your own thing. You know, this guy grew up in France. He's got his own language. He's got his own method. So you figure it out and do your own thing, you know?
Right. Now, the title of the show, Corona, was that because of coronavirus or the spray paint or the beer? It's like all these coronas that surround us. What is it?
No, it's because of, in Hebrew, the word keter means crown.
Oh, okay.
And it just so happens that corona, the paint, is also crown. So crown
right.
basically means the head. And so basically what they're saying, or what I'm trying to say through the symbolism here, is that the head is commanding the body to move, you know? So whatever the head says, the body is supposed to do.
That's what's up. The crown.
The crown, yes.
The third eye.
And also a little bit of symbolism to graffiti, because being a king,
I mean, yeah, it covers all bases, Corona. That's really smart, man. I really dig that. What is this body of work? You said you produce many pieces through Corona. Like what? So those 44 pieces, they're not a part of this show, or are some of them part of the show?
No, those are, I sent to a crew member and a friend. She's gonna have a show with my stuff in Merced.
Oh, okay.
Maybe next month. And I sent 10 more to Mexico City, which are showing over there.
Great.
And so.
Oh, so you're pushing it out. Here it goes.
Yeah, like I don't want to stop, because I think it's, to me, this time is perfect for creating, you know, and I know it sucks to be inside, but at the same time, it's great because it lets me,
for an artist,
you know, like, keep on doing it. And to be honest with you, I'm not even bored.
Yeah, exactly. You almost feel guilty about it because you have your imagination that you're drawing from, and you love where it takes you. It's that escapism, and you're introducing this to an audience and inviting them to escape with you. Yeah,
and now the other thing that I did with this work is, in specific with the ones that are at Incessant Studies.
Yeah,
I give them names that have to do with Tijuana, because a lot of the architecture in Tijuana doesn't really have a style, and a lot of the people that built their houses here, they have the iron rods are sticking out because just in case they stay or just in case they leave. So then nobody has a permanence, you know. There's like,
I understand.
Yeah, if I go to the US, I don't have to build a second floor on this thing. But if I stay, then I'll build a second floor. Then I don't know, it just like stays there and it doesn't happen. And then your neighbor does the same thing, and then there's a bunch of houses with this same design. So that's why on my pieces I do these lines that are like barbed wires, or not barbed wire, like rods, like sticking out, you know, because it symbolizes that part of TJ, that you don't know if you're going to be here for the long run, or if you're going to be a Tijuanero, or you're going to be somebody that moves out.
It's kind of funny you say that, because I've noticed that in the barrios, that a lot of places, a lot of the buildings and the homes don't look finished.
Exactly, and it's because of that.
It's raw.
You know?
Yeah, that's cool, man. I've never had that broken down to me before. Really interesting. Now, with all that's happening in TJ now, you know, there's like Revolution is more localized. There's breweries and bars and restaurants for the locals. And the artists are there. It's a whole different vibe from when it was when I was a kid, going there in the 80s and seeing the big parties and, you know, all that stuff, and like people getting belligerent and whatnot. So like, what's happening in TJ now? Is there an architectural movement happening? Is there firms there? Like, are there plans for that sort of TJ in the future?
Yeah, there's so many buildings being built right now. So many. I don't know who they're for, because I know that they're not for TJ people. I think they're for foreigners. I'm not entirely sure for whom. Got you. But some of them are nice looking. Some of them are, you know, like kind of distracting and too in the way, and just cutting across the skyline and all that stuff. But you know, it's the city's growing, it's moving forward, and it's just like I I guess a lot of people are just, getting used to the idea that Tijuana is growing. It's growing upwards and outwards. So, and of course, it's great that there's so many places to go and hang out, and kick it with your friends and have a few beers and party and all that stuff. It's
Sure. I would imagine that a lot of tourists back in the day, a lot of San Diegans, they probably only know TJ, Revolution, and that's it. And there's only a few people that really know the outlying neighborhoods and have been to those neighborhoods to eat or paint or whatever. Like, I've been fortunate enough to experience that and fall in love with TJ outside of Revolution,
I think if you come, like, just like any part of the world, if you go with the right people, you'll get the good tacos, the inside scoop. And you'll be safe. You'll be safe because you're hanging out with people who are basically artists. They don't get into trouble, and more or less, they're trying to create something on a wall and then go and eat and kick it and have a few beers. And
that's the vibe, man.
Yeah, and send you back home safe, we
got to be careful what we say. Everybody's going to want to be graffiti writers and come to TJ and, take over.
I mean, we need more people that paint,
I want to come down and paint with you and do some more stuff with you. Are you looking at your work and some of these, the slides of the pieces are just beautiful works, man.
Thank you.
Just congratulations on the show. Your first solo show here in San Diego?
First solo show in San Diego, yeah.
Incessant Studies. This weekend. There's going to be DJs. I think DJ Unite is going to be there.
Yes.
They'll probably have a few beverages. Hit up the gallery and go see Shente's show. To get back to the work a little bit more, because I want to touch on this a little bit more because it's so exciting. There's a lot of electricity kind of like stuck in these pieces,
right?
Or static or something, Do you see yourself moving into sculptures? Do you see yourself moving into architecture and building these pieces in a tangible, three-dimensional way?
Yes. The next idea is that I want to do these pieces, but the religious part of these pieces. Like, for example, I want to do a tower that has to do with the idea of the Tower of Babylon, right?
Yeah, you refer to the Tower of Babylon and other structures like, and the religion and the spirituality of these structures. Like, can you touch on that a little bit more and where that energy comes from?
The thing is that I heard, I was seeing some interviews of a few different architects, and it just made me think, like, because they were talking about their buildings as something that had a soul.
That had life.
That had life. And then I never thought about a building in that way, So I was like, wow, like Frank Lloyd Wright is talking about a building like that. And he's being like very precise and very meticulous and very, so then that caught my attention. And I'm like, yeah, like, these guys are not thinking about a building in a like cold and lonely and they're talking about it in a very warm way, and like they're giving it to people for them to live and habitate, and it's like it sounded very nice, like almost like, I guess, having a child,
like a place you want to be, right? Like home.
Child
represents home, spirituality, connection. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, so then in my idea is that these pieces of work, I want to work on them as sculptures first, maybe with wood. I would like to do them like with wood, and start carving out, so then that would be one of them. But then the next line I want to do is all these towers that have to do more or less with the religious artifacts and in connection with religion and the idea of why they were doing these towers so high, like
Right.
Yeah,
Like, to get back to the spirituality of like buildings, you know, and it almost feels like it hasn't existed in your city, TJ, for a long time.
Yeah, and the other thing is that in all this stuff, the names of them, the connection, since I like writing, not just, I mean, I like reading books and I like writing, and the letter structure and the letter form is very important for balance. You know, when you see something, for it to have balance.
Right.
And I think I want it to be the same way with graffiti. You know, I know that people that don't understand sometimes the design of the letters, because some people are very intricate. Their letters have like a lot of arrows and shapes and colors, and they cut across, and they're like almost illegible.
Yeah, camouflaged.
But at the same time, that tells you, you know, like that's telling me that that person is like his thought, at least for me, I think his thought is very complicated. You know, it's very
intense.
complex. Yeah, and then that piece that he does is basically like a self-portrait.
Sure.
So
especially with the ones that are trying new things and trying to evolve their style and looking inwards and putting it outwards, as opposed to like, oh, I'm just going to take this rendition of this piece that I like, and I'm just going to turn it into my name. Like,
right. So then taking that into account and the importance of the written word, I think, you know, at some point, the people who wrote Bibles by hand, like, for example, in Hebrew, I mean, in Judaism still, the sofer is the guy that writes the Torah by hand.
Right.
And he takes like a year or sometimes a little bit more to write it all down. So then at some point, the people who wrote, the scribes, were very important for the kings. And, you know, like these guys had for the Pope, for example, they had all the favors. You know, they were well paid, well fed, and they had everything basically.
They were taken care of because they were an extension of the spiritual light in the writing and putting that in the books and the Torahs. That's an important job.
Yeah, so when I see, like, for example, Chinese calligraphy and the Japanese lettering, all this, and Sanskrit, then to me, I think that graffiti has that, and the graffiti is that as well.
Absolutely.
The graffiti has that transcendence, you know? So,
yes.
So if you do graffiti and you take it serious, I think you're involved in something very special, and a very special way of communicating.
100%. That was so well put. I love this piece right here. This is one of the pieces I saw down at your show at the gallery in person.
At the gallery, yeah.
And it's a diptych. It's there's a kind of like a rust version as well. What's the title of this piece, and what does it signify?
This one is I think it's called Mem. Mem is the letter M in Hebrew, which also symbolizes water. And then the red one is Shin, which is the letter SH, which symbolizes fire. So then there's a saying that if you put too much water on the fire, you basically, what do you call it? Like lo apagas, like you
extinguish it.
You extinguish it. And if you put too much fire on the water, then it evaporates, right? So then you have to balance your water and your fire all the time.
And these two pieces, I wish we had them together or simultaneously on top of each other so we could slide back and forth between the two. Are they a diptych? Are they meant to be together? Are they okay if two separate people purchase them and they go their own separate ways, fire and water?
That's okay. That's okay because, I mean, it would be great if they went together and, you know, like somebody's home or somebody's office, if they went together, that would be great because you have, the idea is to have that balance, right?
Yeah.
But it's crazy because it is said, like in Hebrew scripture, they mentioned that when a soul comes down, actually it splits into two, you know, and that soul splits into male and female. And then when you find your soulmate, which almost nobody in the world finds their soulmate.
Don't tell my wife that.
But if you find your soulmate, that means that your fire and water got together and they connected, and basically it's one soul, and it recognizes itself so well that that's why when you meet, it clicks. Yeah,
very cool, very cool. So yeah, that's that's more like it. I didn't know where you were going with that, but just the fire and water splitting into two. They need each other.
So what I like about this is that every single painting has a little bit of a story behind it. Like, for example, the one we're seeing right now, it's called 8 because the underneath the two little circles look like an 8, and I used a lot of circles in this one, and that's the way the pencil moved.
Right.
So on 8th Street here in Tijuana, there used to be a jail, and that jail was like a holding tank where they took you and they shook you down to see if you would give them some money before getting taken to the bigger jail, for the real jail. So then
I think I've been there.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore, but it did, like still in 2001, I think it still existed.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the number 8.
Exactly. And like Calle Ocho,
infinity.
That if you turn it sideways, of course, infinity as well.
Right.
And that's that's my favorite number too, the number 8.
Because of that?
No, because of my birthday, November 8th.
Okay. Got you. Mine's number 11. Go figure.
The 11th of November?
Just 11, just the whole lining up with the numbers 11. My daughter, PJ, was born on 11/1. Stella was born on 11/11. My mom was born at 11 o'clock. She died at 11 o'clock. All sorts of 11s I get on my phone all the time.
That's great, man.
I love it. It's my number.
Yeah.
So I feel connected through the electric currents and technology to my spiritual connection with my mom.
That's great. That's
great. I love it. I'm with it. But man, I mean, congratulations on the show. I want you to be able to come over and hang out. I want to go over there soon and hang out with you. I think we're going to get back to back to work here pretty soon, Is there anything you want to talk about the future of Shente and what's going to happen after these kind of like restrictions come down? Like what's kind of going through your head before we get out of here? I want to hear what the future is for Shente.
Well, the idea is to basically turn this into sculptures next, and keep on working, because I think this is not enough to show that I'm that this is my style, right? Or this is what I'm trying to say right now. And I need to do it more. And the idea is to push it to represent Tijuana the right way, and to inspire other artists, especially kids that are coming up and writing, and whatever I can teach them about writing, that'd be cool. Like I'm always down to share the knowledge, and because I always learn from them as well, and
of course, even the youth, we still learn from them. You shouldn't shut them out, right?
I learned a lot from all my new crew members that entered the Hem crew, like around 2000 till now. All these new guys who came in and gave it new life. I'm so happy with them, and I'm so proud of working with them. That they're very very hard workers, all of them, and it's thanks to this new generation of HEM crew members that people remember the past, and people remember to connect that past, that history that's pretty solid with today, and I'm glad that a lot of them are still pushing it, and they're all great artists, so I love working with them.
It's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. And you're nothing short of an amazing teacher that possesses a lot of wisdom, and I can't wait to see where you take this stuff, because you're just scratching the surface, like you said. And as you evolve, so does this style, man. I think the outcome is going to be nothing short of stellar. So congratulations to you and your opening. Corona at Incessant Studies Gallery opens this Friday in San Diego near downtown on, I believe it's 4th Avenue. Reach out to the gallery to make an appointment. There's going to be DJs, some beverages, good vibes, amazing artwork from Shente, our guest tonight here at Studio 111. Man, we appreciate you coming through and picking me up at the border and flying me, you know, out into the galaxy and you know, taking me on a little blast from the past and, you know, showing us what you're currently working on, what you've been through. I know there's a lot of stories, man, and we can go on, and I'm gonna come down and we're gonna break some bread and you know, have a drink and catch up proper real soon, man. Thank you for coming through tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome to come down anytime and hang out, man.
My man, yes. And
yeah, well, I want to thank you as well, and Wally, and the support, you know, from all the people that have been sending me messages and following me, like new people that are following me and all that stuff. It's great. That's always good, because it just pushes me, and I know that I'm connecting with some good people, you know?
Yeah, man. You know, your story and your art needs to be seen, and we're just so happy to be able to shine that light on you. And, you know, take that and just continue to crush it, brother. And we'll see you out there in the future. I know we will.
All right, absolutely, man. Thanks again for the invite.
Yeah, of course. And peace to you, and peace and love to you and your family. Stay safe out there in TJ.
All right.
In the galaxy. To you guys. All right, my man. Peace.
Appreciate you, Shente.
All right, guys.
All right. So, yo, that was like really, really dope, man. I'm so glad that we got to sit down with Shente and get a good look at his life's work, his stories, where he's coming from. You know, a lot of, as you can see in this picture, man, Shente has been fortunate to, you know, be able to travel outside of this wall, you know, but think about how many artists are in this city right now just dreaming about being heard, like their art being seen. Discover TJ, people. It's a beautiful city. It has a lot of magic and exciting things happening in it. And I hope to bring you more from TJ in the future. But for now, I'm going to get the hell out of here. And I want to say peace from myself, PERSUE. I want to say thank you to Shente for coming through and sharing his show with us. Shout out to Chata for her piece with Rilla, you know, and shout out to Jay Strickland and Chams at Incessant Studies Gallery. Go check out Shente's show, man. It's going to be live. Hopefully to see you out there. All right. Peace out.
We're going to run that Rilla learns about low riding culture one more time.
Let's run that chilling with Chata one more time for the road. Peace.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah. What up, Captain Wally?
What's goody, Rilla? How are you?
Yo, Rilla, just chilling, you know, chilling in the park today. I'm in Barrio Logan in San Diego.
Yo, it looks mad festive out there.
Oh, man, there's like so many people and so many beautiful cars and so many beautiful artworks on the walls.
Yeah, it looks like a big vibe.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'll be in touch, okay?
Sick looking ride right there.
Peace, brother.
Oh, man, this ride is beautiful. But, you know, Rilla got so tired. I hope that it's okay that I just kind of sit down and take a break right here for a second.
Excuse you.
Excuse Rilla. Sorry about that. You know, Rilla just got tired and I didn't mean to disrespect your ride.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, you know, Rilla, this is Rilla's first time to Chicano Park and to the Chicano Day celebration. Oh, yeah, what's your name?
Well, first of all, Rilla, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Rilla just jumped the gun sometimes. I know. Slow down, deep breath.
My name's Chata.
Oh, Chata, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Pound. Oh, wow. I feel that right here in Rilla's heart. Chata, this is a beautiful car. Is it yours?
Thank you, yes.
Wow. Does the car have a name too?
You know, I have been thinking about it.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna rename it to Really.
Really?
Yeah, like really cute.
Oh, I love that. You know, the car name, Really? And Rilla name, Rilla. Oh, Chata, you're so nice. You know, Rilla want to know a little bit more about the history of Chicano Park. Can you tell Rilla a little bit more history about today and Chicano Park and what's happening?
Wow, you know what? It's your lucky day.
Oh.
I could tell you everything.
Oh, I know, Chata, you're so wise.
Wow. The inception of the park began in the 1970s.
Oh, that's such a long time ago.
Yeah, 1970, April 20th.
Wow.
The community came together here in Barrio Logan.
Oh, why?
Well, you know what? It's a little sad.
Is it?
But it has a happy ending.
Oh, I like happy ending. Rilla like happy ending.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
So what had happened was the freeway in which these beautiful pillars are on
Oh, yeah.
moved into town.
Oh,
And all the houses underneath this freeway got put into something we call eminent domain.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so everybody that lived in the houses that were here
Uh-huh.
had to move. It was very sad.
There were houses right here where
There
we're
were
standing.
houses right here where we're standing.
That's so sad. You know, so many families had to leave.
So many families had to leave.
Oh, I really
But
don't like.
the city promised them a park.
Oh,
Yeah, it was part of the deal.
oh,
Yeah, so we were supposed to get a park, but
oh,
check this out.
no.
Scandalous.
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 Oh, tell Rilla. Rilla
Highway
likes scandal.
patrol.
A what?
The highway patrol.
Oh,
They were scandalous. Let me tell you why.
okay. Yes, Rilla want to know. I'm here.
Well, so they promised us a park, but behind our backs,
Oh.
they decided they were going to build a station instead
Wow.
of a park for our community and for
Wow.
the kids to play.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's not fair.
when the community caught wind, everybody came together and decided that they were going to take over this land and occupy
Yeah.
and turn it into the park that they promised.
Oh, park for the people.
For the people,
Oh,
yes.
of the community.
Yes.
I love that. Rilla love that.
I know. I love it too.
Oh, I can feel it warming Rilla's heart.
It warms
Yeah.
my heart too, Rilla.
Oh, I love that story.
So
Tell me more.
everybody came together and they started planting trees.
Oh,
and
it's so beautiful.
barbecuing.
I love the sounds of all the
Yeah,
birds.
the abuelitas would come out and make tortillas for the people who were occupying the land and
Rilla can
food.
almost taste it.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
After some time went by, the city realized we're not going to give up.
Oh,
This is our park and we deserve it and we
That's right.
promised it.
that's right.
So the occupation worked successfully
Good.
and we were given our park.
Oh, and what's the story of all the artwork on the walls and the pillars around the park?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I really want to know.
Well, the artwork around the park tells the history of our people and of our land. Oh. Yeah,
They're so colorful. That history must be so beautiful.
it's special, yes.
Yes. Oh, you know, Chata, you know, this is first time for Rilla to be at the Chicano Park, and I especially am thankful for you to share this information with Rilla. You know, Rilla never been inside a lowrider before.
Rilla's never been inside a lowrider.
No.
You know what?
What?
I think today's your lucky day.
What? What are you saying to Rilla?
Rilla, would you like to take a cruise with me?
What? Oh, Rilla would love to take a cruise with Chata. Oh, Chata, you're so cool.
Oh, but first things first.
What?
You gotta put some work in.
Oh, I dropped it. Oh, Rilla, so clumsy.
It's okay,
Chata,
Rilla.
let's roll.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, Rilla, man, I really can't believe he's cruising down the boulevard with you, Chata. Thank you for taking Rilla cruising.
Believe it. And you know what, Rilla? Thank you for having such an interest in what this is all about.
Oh, Rilla really loved culture, so, he liked to learn and to teach as he goes. Rilla has a question for you, Chata.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can you tell Rilla, where lowriding community comes from and the culture comes from for Rilla, so Rilla know?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
So, the inception of lowriding and its origins,
Yeah.
it's a little hit and miss. It's a debate, I would say.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Some people say lowriding came from the Southwest, like Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. Well, others argue that it came from Los Angeles, Southern California, or Tijuana.
I see.
Yes.
I think that it doesn't matter where it comes as long as we're all lowriding together.
Yes, really, you catch on pretty quick. You
Hey,
know that?
Rilla got brains, and Rilla has a heart too.
And looks, you're a looker.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chata.
So,
Tell me more.
one thing is for certain, though, is that it originates back to the post-World War II era of the 1950s and 60s.
Oh,
Yes.
that's such a long time ago.
Yes.
So special.
And it was very popular amongst Mexican-American youth, or Chicanos, as I would say.
Oh, Rilla likes that.
Yeah. So, with the rise in popularity of lowriding in the 1970s,
Yeah.
also came some discrimination.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So tell me more.
Well, people felt some type of way about lowriding.
Oh.
I would say the man.
Oh, the man doesn't understand sometimes, They say they have the master plan, but we really know they don't have the master plan.
It's the truth. And
It's true.
They went far above and beyond to try and prevent us from lowriding.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, including laws that they put into place. Like,
No.
Yeah, like the California Penal Code 24008, which
What?
prohibited cars being lowered past a certain point.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
They really did that.
Oh, yes, they did. And our haters, you know what else they did? They made it illegal for us to cruise our favorite boulevards.
That's not nice. Rilla think that's very mean of someone to do that to somebody when they love to do things and it brings them happiness. And then they put a block on that. I think that's so rude.
But you know what? When you have passion and you have love in your heart, no hater can stop you. They're in the review mirror.
True. Rilla has lots of love in his heart too. Chata, can you tell Rilla a little bit more about yourself and what you do for fun and what you do for work?
About me?
Yeah, Rilla want to know.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Tell the boys and girls at home, please.
Usually it's really hard for me to talk about myself, but I feel pretty comfortable
But
with you.
yeah, you could talk to Rilla. Rilla here for you.
But first things first,
Okay.
you want to hit the switches?
Oh yeah, I want to hit the switches. Let's do this.
Okay, ready?
What button do I press?
You press that one.
Oh, that one. Okay, let's do this.
Hit it.
All right, hit the switches. Oh yeah.
Rilla,
Chata, I love this.
You're good at this, Rilla?
Oh, thank you. Oh, my head.
Okay. Enough.
Okay.
I think we need to check it.
Oh, are you okay?
Are you okay, Rilla?
What should we do, Chata? Where should we go?
You know what? I know a spot.
You have a spot?
Yeah.
Oh, Rilla loves this, Chata. Thank you. Oh, thank you for cruising with Rilla. Let's go. You take me to your spot.
Of course.
Oh, wow. Oh, Chata, where did you take me?
What do you think about my spot?
Wow. This is really kind of laid back. I like the vibe.
Welcome to my universe.
Dope. Hey, thank you for taking Rilla all around San Diego today and educating Rilla.
Rilla, thank you for asking all the right questions and being interested.
Oh, Rilla care about all that stuff, and Rilla care about you too, Chata.
Chata felt that in her heart.
Oh yeah. Hey, Chata, can we talk about you a little bit more?
Okay.
Oh, Rilla has a question, He just wants to know, what are you working on these days?
Well, I'm his stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it's top secret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it
yeah.
all revolves around art,
Oh,
community,
yeah.
making money. A
Oh,
little bit,
that's always nice.
but mostly passion.
Yeah. Without passion, then it's not worth the time, I don't think, you know. Everything else comes after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I see that you take photographs too, that you do some modeling sometimes. Do you like to model, Chata?
I love to model.
Oh,
I love to model and I love to take photos as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if there's one place on the planet or in the universe where you would like to go cruising in your lowrider, where would that be?
Japan.
Oh,
Because guess what?
what?
Lowriding is worldwide now.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
We made it.
you made it. We made it.
We made it.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and you know, I'm just so moved by the experience I had with you today, Chata. You know, if there's anything that Rilla could do for you, Rilla do. You just say so.
Rilla, you just keep being you, and we're gonna be just fine.
Oh, Rilla really like Chata. Thank you, Chata.
Chata really like Rilla.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah. Anytime. Will you come back and we can go cruising again?
Oh, you bet.
Oh, okay. Can you tell Rilla a little secret?
Yeah.
Wow.
What? Ooh, Rilla.
Oh, sorry. Wow. Oh. Chata, I did not know that you hold all the answers to the universe inside your heart. Oh, Rilla said that outside, outside loud. I'm sorry, Chata. Okay.
okay.
Okay, boys and girls, thank you for coming and watching Rilla and Chata today. We love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, they're so cool to come cruise with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
right? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Thank you for keeping it Rilla with Rilla.
Anytime.
Okay. Bye, Chata.
Bye, Rilla. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Peace out.